We're a manufacturing concern. We manufacture needle punch textiles. And back in March, we got a tremendous number of calls from people looking for materials to make face masks. Unfortunately, the materials that are made for face masks, we do not have that process. We're a needle puncher. So we embarked on a journey to create a needle punched material that would serve as an alternative for face masks, because it was all going overseas. The majority of it goes to China. The Chinese were in here trying to buy up our entire supply. And we felt that we could possibly do some good and help the country out by creating the material. And it took a while, but we finally did get there. We actually took it from design to marketability in a little over 4.5 months. We're still working on it. It's a continual process. We have had our materials tested now at MIT. They are testing at 95% efficiency and above at 0.3 micron, which is the threshold for the NIOSH mask. We have a lot of customers that are looking for materials to make masks. So it's hopefully will be, in the next few weeks, will be well into the marketplace. And we were actually listed as using melt blown as part of composite products, which we have done in the past. So that's how people started getting our name, was they saw, as soon as you key into Google melt blown, our name was coming up. And the melt blown is a very, very fine fiber. It's a process where the fibers are actually cast onto a perforated drum and cooled. The process is capable of making a very fine fiber. If you look at a virus or anything like that, the virus size is actually 0.03 microns. So to filter out that size of particulate, you must have a very, very tight pore size or a lot of density to filter it out. Unfortunately, the more density you have, the less you can breathe through it. So melt blown has traditionally been the mainstay of all face masks made in the world. With the advent of the coronavirus and everybody jumping on stream to get masks out there into the general public, they completely decimated the world's supply. Melt-blown prices went from roughly $7,000 a ton in March to over $110,000 a ton in May. About the end of April, it had completely dried up. So nobody had any production. It left a big hole for us to try to fill. The New York State government has helped us out with a couple of different things. We had a Fuse Hub grant to help develop the material to get to N95. That was the primary focus of starting this whole thing out. We were already working on it anyway. That was a smaller grant that we got. And then there was a manufacturing grant that we got through the Empire State Development Corporation. That's the bigger grant that the 3 companies in the Mohawk Valley got. This is to buy machinery and create a process in which to create these products. I think there's 16 people that work here. We are expecting to produce at least 50 new jobs based upon this, depending upon how successful we are getting this into the marketplace. We have to increase our product production. We have a total capacity of roughly 12 million masks per month. That's our maximum capacity. That's running 24/7. And that line has to be fully staffed. It is not staffed at this point. So once we staff that, 12 million masks at the end of the day is really a drop in the bucket. So we may have to go beyond that and start to increase the size of the plant. And depending on how far we go into all of the periphery of it, if we get into the actual mask making here, that will increase the employment tremendously. What we do in the manufacturing process, we start out with staple fiber. The fibers are carded, which is combing the fibers, and we lay them out into a sheet, build up the weights to specification, and needle punch the fibers together, which is a mechanical interlocking process to manufacture an actual fabric. From there, we may add different layers, hence the word composites. We do composite layers, add different products to it, depending upon the product that the customer actually wants to have. We're a custom manufacturer, so we make everything to order. We have no stock items whatsoever. It feels good to be able to do our part, and rather than just be an industrial producer, we're able to help out. My main concern is to help the public, and I think we can do that. But B is to provide employment opportunity for people. I'm a firm believer in people have the need to work, I think they should have the need to work. I think they feel better about themselves when they are working. And quite frankly, because of the lack of manufacturing and the businesses that we've lost, there are very few places where people can go to find a job. And we hope that we can be on maybe the edge of turning that whole thing around.